Meow. Meow. Yo, happy Friday. Meow. Meow. How are you guys all doing today on this Friday, the 20th, full week of after Friday the 13th? There is some interesting news going on. I've got a little bit of anti-black pill. Now, I'm not karate manning against the black pillars, but I do like to provide some context as people are melting down right now about the tariffs online. Look, the Supreme Court ruled today to overturn the tariffs, but did they? A lot of people are going with, clickbait and blackpilling. The Supreme Court actually did not overturn the tariffs. The Supreme Court simply said the way in which Trump used his executive power or his emergency powers to enact the tariffs, was invalid. There are multiple more channels to keep these tariffs in place, and the White House is already working on them. The issue is that black pill content, doom pill content, just sells better. It's more popular, and living in a world where the sky is falling is just better for clicks. Hey, Jeremy, why are you blocking replies in your tweets? I'm not. I just have all my tweets set to verified users only because I'm sick of all the bots on X. At some point, if Elon decides that he wants to give a shit about bots on X, for real, I'll turn that off. But it is. I have found that by restricting just to verified, unfortunately, there's a little bit of baby in the bathwater with my viewers who don't want to pay for X, which I get. But they can also join my Discord, which is totally free, and talk to me directly there. I have found that bots on X have been shaping the narrative, especially around MAGA, for the last year or so, and it's just nonsense. It's why you see all of this, all of our former conservative talking heads have now become completely obsessed with Israel. And I think it's because they think that's what everybody is interested in. But those narratives, you want to tweet about, they tweet about it and they say Israel bad, and then it gets 75,000 likes. Or they tweet and they say Israel good and it gets 75,000 likes. They think people actually give a shit about that, and they completely, change their content. I used to like watching the conservative twins and following them, but I can't tune into Israel bad every single day from everybody. Or Israel good. I don't give a fuck about Israel, period. And that's what X has become, AI generated content and Israel and porn. So I found that by turning verified only on, I just don't see anywhere near as much of that. And I get more feedback from people that actually like have something to say that aren't bots, you know? Wisconsin bound truckers says, I've heard you say it a few times now and I have to correct you. 18 to 20-year-olds can in fact drive semi, just not interstate. They must stay within state lines. Okay, good correction. Tell us your feelings about Canada. Salty, you know that. Jeremy, do you have a backup plan if membership for your Discord drops in March when they require facial recognition or ID for age? Yes, I'll use Telegram, or I'll probably use Telegram. It's not as easy, but if the verification stuff becomes a problem on Discord, I'll change the members to either Telegram or Gilded. I've used Gilded before. It's basically just like Telegram, but it's also owned by Roblox, so I'm not sure that they won't have the same kind of garbage rolling out. So, you know, Telegram might be the easier way. It doesn't, as far as I have to look more into it, I don't know if, Gilded's shut down? I didn't know that. Okay, well then Telegram is probably my only backup. Otherwise Signal. Like, I could do what Nick does and just have a Signal or a Telegram where you can message me directly, but it's not like the same chat rooms and stuff like that. But maybe what I'll do is I'll create a members Telegram, and if there's people who are signed up as a member and they're like, I don't want to use Discord, but I still want to be able to contact you, maybe I'll just create a special members Telegram that you can get access to, or Signal. I don't know if Signal or Telegram have any kind of plugins that work with the plugin I use to manage that is called Paid Memberships Pro. So if Paid Memberships Pro has another option that I can gate, I will. The other option is I could create a members area on the quartering and use like some open source chat room, right? And that way members could still go in there and chat. So Telegram requires doxing yourself unless you use a burner. Okay. So yeah, well, what I'm going to do is talk to people who are actually paid members and see what they want to use, you know? Encrypted messenger brand, encrypted messenger. Yeah, I mean, perhaps I could just put a chat room on the quartering.com that's in the members area. And that way there's a million options and it can still be gated that way. Dingiscon says, so we have to verify who we are for Discord, but not to vote in elections. True. Signals. Yeah. So I'll look into that. If I have like a bunch of paying members that are like, hey, I want to be a member, I want to contact you, but I don't want to use Discord, then I will make the change. But I think it's important to talk about the reality of these tariffs because I think too many people are blackpilling on it. So obviously Trump's going to send what can only be described as an ultra mega massive tweet, I'm sure. But I think that he still has multiple avenues to roll out these tariffs legally. And it's a road bump. You know, Amy Coney Barrett was a mistake, but you know what? Brett Kavanaugh voted against it too. So you had who were the dissenters or the traitors? Kavanaugh voted against it, and Coney Barrett voted against it, and then obviously DEI Kenjati Brown and Sotomayor did, I believe, right? Is that how the vote shook out? So obviously Kenjati Brown is going to do anything she can to hurt Trump. Sotomayor, same thing. Just go with old school embed on IRC chat. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I could do that. So basically, the Supreme Court ruled that Trump could not use his like emergency powers to roll out these tariffs. They did not rule against the tariffs. And that's why like I did a specific video explaining that to people, because I think all of the headlines are incorrectly stating that they voted against the tariffs. That's not what happened. So he has, I believe, 3 or 4 separate laws historically that he can still use to enact these tariffs. I think that the left is obviously going to see this as a victory. The tariffs were in place to protect American manufacturing and to punish places like China for pouring fentanyl into our country. And yeah, they voted against the executive powers, correct. Why do I look so red? Do I look red? I don't think I do. I'm wearing a red shirt. I did fix my camera, so I'm not leaning always to be in frame. You know, there's that. You know, it's you know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Looks more orange than red to me. I don't think so. I think it's just because I use warm lighting instead of like surgery room lights. That's probably what you guys are seeing. Locals could be, I did not like it years ago. Yeah, well, the problem with locals, if I use that, is then everyone has to like resubscribe, and then I have to give that money to locals, which is the opposite of, you know, the website. The website's supposed to keep us like cancel proof, you know, and keep everything on our site. I see Tim Pool crying about his skateboards already. Aren't his skateboards made in America? Can SCOTUS stroke down tariffs the other countries have on us? That would be helpful. Yeah, right. The crazy thing now is actually unwinding this and how you would actually get, you know, any kind of, you know, they're talking about having to refund Americans. DeBrew that dude says, regardless of being good or bad regarding tariffs, they made the correct legal call. That's what it looks like to me, to be honest with you. I think if they would have agreed with it, it would have been viewed as more of a partisan decision. These are the decisions you kind of hope that the Supreme Court will decide with you, because you're like, well, there's 4 conservatives, so we should just win everything that's good for conservatives. But that's not really how it works. And, you know, my hope is that they get working on a plan B immediately, and get everything rolled out. So, I mean, I just wanted to talk a few people off the ledge there before we get into like a little more of the funny type news. Since when does legality matter, really? Well, I know. And Amy Coney Barrett voted the way I expected, but I did think that Kavanaugh wouldn't have cucked out, but he did. And, you know, that's what happens, I suppose. I turned my saturation way up, so quartering is oranger than Trump. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jeremy, you hear it turns out aliens have always been among us. Can you identify them easily? They all have blue hair and septum piercings. Yeah, the latest look over here thing is aliens. I'm not covering it. I've tried to, you know, instead of covering aliens today, I covered the tariffs. People paid tariffs and the government said no refunds. That's actually not true. They have not said no refunds. In fact, in Kavanaugh's 64-page dissent, if you had read it, it says that unwinding it will be difficult. So they don't really know about refunding it, but the government hasn't actually said, you know, anything about no refunds. The crazy thing is, overturning these tariffs won't bring prices down. See, these companies that raise their prices to offset the tariffs are just going to keep their prices where they are. They're not going to lower their prices and be like, oh, look, tariffs went away and now we can be cheap again. According to Tim Pool does not make his boards in the U.S. What? If you watched him, you would know. Well, I don't. And that's not a Tim Pool. I'm not like slagging Tim. I just don't watch other political commentators because all day I make political content. The last thing I want to do is tune in and watch someone else, you know? You know, that's just me. Why wouldn't he make him in America? That's crazy, Tim. You have like an ultra low quantity. You got to make those in America, dude. Matt Heretic says, if it was a liberal court, they would 100% go liberals every time, even if it was blatantly illegal. You're not wrong. Kavanaugh was on our side on this. Kavanaugh dissented, didn't he? I'm pretty sure Kavanaugh dissented. Oh, that was a troll comment. They are made in America. Okay. It seemed weird that he wouldn't make them in America. Okay. All right, so they're made here. Thanks for the quick correction. It would make no sense for him not to do that. That's why it seems so weird. Yeah, Kavanaugh did vote against it. Yeah. Yeah. Are you drunk? Your eyes are red. No. Why is that? Like, it doesn't look red at all on my screen. That's so strange. I mean, I could do, I could turn down, like, I'm not going to fool with it. I don't know why it looks that way to you guys, but I wish I was drunk. Got my coffee brand coffee trucker's hat. Fits and looks great. Thanks. Hell yeah, would. Thank you for using the Rumble app to tip in Bitcoin, too. The Rumble wallet app. Very, very cool. It's pretty damn warm. So if I do, let's see. Well, I can't futz with it now, I don't think, for whatever reason. It doesn't look like that on my screen. Tariff debates show us how much importers absolutely fist us daily. Yeah, that's true. They're not going to lower the price either. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just not going to. Configure video. Why is it bringing up this other camera control? I don't want that. Let's see. I could turn... No, that's contrast. I could turn it up a little more. Or I could increase the brightness a little more. I don't know. Which one is better? I could turn down the saturation. Maybe that looks better. Turn down the saturation a little bit. How's that? How's that? Turn down the saturation a little bit. The new Trump filter, yeah. Yeah. Better. Yeah. That works. Okay. There we go. There was an update that happened. So that way. I no longer look high. Fooled them again. All right. Thank you guys. That's why I do my one-on-one Friday Lone Wolf cast, because it's just me. I don't have a producer, you know, and so I listen to the chat, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I'm gonna change the background. Yeah, the background is so white that it probably does screw with the white balance on the camera. Now it's just the raccoon rings around your eyes like normal. Yeah, those are normal. Hey, Basement Jesus joined as a member on YouTube. Very, very cool. Thank you, dude. Joining as a member always helps the channel. You need to come up with a K-Cup coffee brand coffee variety pack. I didn't realize there's so many flavors. Yes, we will do that. We will do that. But it's just a packaging and a planning thing. A filter to get rid of my coon eyes. Did you see that Japanese chick that had she lost like 150,000 followers because lost followers beauty filter? Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Yeah. Here's her beauty filter. And it glitched out while she was live streaming. So this is what people thought she looked like. And that's what she actually looks like. Not an ugly girl, but just not that girl. It's so funny to me. Like, beauty filter glitch, and she lost all of her followers. Yeah, I'm not saying she's ugly without the filter. It's a little masculine looking. Those high cheekbones are a little masculine, but we are rapidly heading to a world where nobody knows the difference at all. But I just found out my girlfriend's mom is pregnant, so it looks like I'm going to be a dad. Congratulations! You're also dating your potential daughter. All right, let's go here. Got a couple of stories for you guys today. All right. Well, I know everybody loves a good old-fashioned F around and find out story. And here we have yet another woke woman who took to the internet to tell other people to do horrible things to law enforcement. And well, now she's been arrested because the internet is kind of done dealing with these lunatics, and they have really made it fun to made a point to locate these people, find out where they work, and turn them in to law enforcement. I don't know why at any point, I don't know at any point why these people don't think that there's any consequences. It's mostly white women who are moderately attractive, and they've gone their life without any real consequences in that. But this one is absolutely amazing, and we're going to get into it after a super quick word from this video sponsor, Aura. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Aura. How does it make you feel that these data brokers are making billions of dollars selling your personal information without your consent and destroying your privacy in the process? And that they make no effort to stop scammers, spammers, and stalkers from buying it? It sucks, right? That's why Aura can help you. Aura protects your privacy by identifying data brokers selling your information. Then they take care of the hard part, automatically removing your information from these sites and keeping it off. There's a lot of services that offer this too, but none of them offer as many features as Aura for the same price. I've been using Aura for a long time and I really love it. You get alerts if your personal info is found out on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, 24/7 monitoring to keep your identity secure, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more. US-based support available around the clock if something does go wrong. If anything does happen, Aura includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection, and they have US fraud experts ready to help 24/7. Try Aura for free for 14 days at aura.com/thequartering. In those 2 weeks, Aura will get to work scrubbing your personal information off these data broker websites. I haven't left myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Check the link in the description below to start protecting yourself today. All right, yeah, I've long used Aura, and it really does help. So here we have, meet Alex Taylor Fontenot of Lake Charles, Louisiana. And this is what here's a little before on the left, and here she is in her prison oranges.
Guys, guess what?
Oh, guess what?
This message is for you.
Okay. This message is for you, she says.
Don't come to my house if you're planning on leaving alive.
Don't plan on entering my house if you don't enter my house if you plan on leaving alive. Now, again, white women oppression fantasies remain undefeated. This woman obviously would not have ICE probably going into her house. Now, obviously she doesn't have time for a toothbrush or dental care, so she probably doesn't understand what ICE actually does, but she is probably not an illegal. In fact, I now know for a fact because of her arrest, she is not an illegal.
Crazy. You step foot onto my house.
You're
leaving in a body bag.
Oh, you're leaving in a body bag. It's no, sorry. It's silent T at the end. Louisiana pronunciation correction.
I've been waiting for the day that I get to pew-pew a tyrannical government uprising.
Oh, she's been waiting for the day. Now, she's so tough, she says pew-pew instead of shoot. So because she doesn't want she doesn't want to lose her TikTok clicks. Her TikTok clicks are what's most important. And she knows if she says shoot, she will get demonetized or the video will be bad. So she says pew pew. Now look, I am well known for dancing around words, but I'm also not exactly putting out these insane threats set to spooky music.
And guess what?
Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. It's always the eyes. Oh, there is a sweet 3 a.m. raid coming for you guys.
My dad just pew-pewed and murdered my mom.
My dad just pew-pewed my mom. What? Look at that face. Look at it. This is the face of absolutely unhinged Trump derangement syndrome and Karen juice. I don't really know what exactly is going on here.
So I have all this built-up rage and
Oh, she's built up rage. Okay.
anger. You come to my house, you'll actually be helping me aim it in a positive direction.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
No one will get hurt. You'll be dropped like flies immediately.
Okay. So here's the thing. She's now been arrested. Like this she's been indicted after she posted this video. So if we look up, Alex Taylor Fontenot, let's take a look at, obviously you see her mugshot to the right there, but this is very common of the left. It's like these people all have these crazy fantasies, and now she's put in jail. I mean, again, do I think she was ever going to actually follow through any of this? Probably not. But here is 2.5 minutes uncut of leftists directly calling for attacks on ICE agents, Republicans, and the federal government. I mean, this is who these people are.
Just to be clear, we are well past fuck ICE at this point. It is now fight ICE.
Why do they always do these videos from their cars? Like, you have nowhere else where you could make these attempt to be intimidating videos? We all know what's going on with your hairline there, buddy, too. Pulling it back into a ponytail isn't covering the fact that you're bald.
Oh, well, she was trying to run him over. It's self-defense. I wish she was, and I wish she did. And guess what?
Okay.
If she did and he died, I would...
Oh, okay.
If you support ICE, you are just as bad as ICE.
Why do they all have that piercing? The septum piercing? All of these people are essentially LARPing, I mean, they're all LARPers. Here is another one. Get your weapons, get your militia, get your people. When ICE comes to town, don't give them a chance. Get a sniper and take them out. Gets pointed immediately to Kash Patel. Again, these people are all insane. They're all insane. And these women are ruining their lives because they're living like just in the same way that all these women flocked to 50 Shades of Grey because they have these like deep-seated fantasies of being in that type of relationship. You see a lot of white liberal women also living in this same weird victimhood because they don't actually have anything going for them. Nobody's actually oppressing them. They're just crazy and they don't have any personality traits. Same like this guy. Everyone, hey, look at me. I have this ugly ass piercing.
You're a cancer on humanity that should be excised. That is to say, I want you dead.
The only true way to make America great again is to kill a fucking Nazi. So good luck, Godspeed.
Now, these people do follow through. I don't know if you're new to the channel, but there was a guy that walked around wearing t-shirts that said, punch a Nazi and this stuff and that. And when I was at a gaming convention, he assaulted me while my back was turned and tried to take my life. He was screaming, I'm going to take your life. I'm going to end you. While repeatedly attacking me from behind, ripped my shirt. And when I got away from him and went into a building, he punched out the window. That's how unhinged this guy was. Why? Never had an interaction with him in my life. didn't even know really who he was. Now, thankfully, due to the weaponized autism of the internet, people poured over security footage and found out that this Krav Maga instructor found out who he was, and I sued him into oblivion, and now he's broke because that's how adults handle things. And certainly after that, I learned a little bit more about self-defense. But, you know, these people, when they say stuff, they mean it.
I have an idea. A No Kings protest, but we have weapons and we use them.
Violence against the state. The answer is violence against the state. It's always been a violence.
Why is this guy using a beauty filter? He's pretty clearly using some sort of beauty filter, at least in my opinion. I'm not really used to detecting them because I don't use dating apps, but like, it looks like this guy's using some sort of beauty filter.
This has always been the answer. If you are not loudly advocating for the death and imprisonment of almost everyone in this administration and everyone that has participated in these ICE operations, then you're a fucking collaborator.
Remember, if ICE tries to police your polling...
Wait a minute. Stop tagging me in this. This is not me. This is not me. By the way, if you're going to have a mustache, you have to trim it above your lip line. You look ridiculous. Take a little scissors and trim that above your lip, okay?
Station, mark your ballot in their blood. Thank you.
If they try to break into your home without a warrant, blow their heads off.
I don't want impeachment. I don't want them to serve time. I want them taken into the city town square, hung from their ankles, and cut them from groin to chin.
This is probably a teacher. I'm just going to guess that this is probably a teacher or a nurse. Just based on the, like, why would you put these videos on the internet? This level of rage while driving is not only dangerous, but you set up your camera so you could be performative. And it's like, I mean, are you stuck behind a fish tab? Is that what it is? Sorry, fish tab's a regional term in Wisconsin. But, and if you know it, you know it. But I mean, this...
I just want to know when the fuck we light the torches and get the pitchforks, because...
Go do it! Go do it, tough guy. Why don't you go be the change that you want to be, what you want to see, homie? None of these people are actually doing it, but what they're hoping for is that other unhinged people in their follower groups will actually do it. This guy spent time at the salon on his eyebrows. I can guarantee you that. Probably another nurse, something like that.
We just need to burn this bitch down and start the fuck over. So, you with me? Let's roll.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? None of these people can even get out of their cars.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. 40 people were there. You didn't execute him. He was threatening your life. Jury of your peers, get out of here.
Because
I don't understand. I mean, at this point, look, I like freedom of speech. I support it. But when you're out there outright advocating for people to do this, I don't think we need to go much further than, what happened to Charlie Kirk. People had advocated for what happened to Charlie Kirk for years, and it took a mentally unstable person to finally try to carry it out. Same with Thomas Matthew Crooks, and same with that guy in Florida. Okay? These people know exactly what they're doing, and they should be charged as such. And I hope she enjoys her new prison cell. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't, please subscribe or follow down below. And we'll talk to you again real soon. What's a fish tab? Fucking Illinois shithead. That's fish, but what's a fish tab? You gotta go all the way to the fish tab. Because the fish tab is far more annoying. There it is. Yeah, Ultimus got, yeah. The fucking Illinois shithead towing a boat. Yeah, that's the fish tabs. That's mostly a regional southern Wisconsin thing, because you're not, or like if you're on the highway, going up to like, you know, going north in Wisconsin, you see a lot of fish tabs, you know. I like people from Illinois. I don't have any problem with them. Wisconsinites are always shit on Illinois because Wisconsin is just a suburb of Chicago. There would be nothing without us. I mean, can we try? Can we try? Some viewer comments over in, we've got Sean Tower says, just thought I would mention 4 out of 5 Supreme Court judges who voted against America with the tariffs. And if it stands to destroy the economy, we're women. Stop putting women in the Supreme Court. It's worth considering. Also, another embarrassing comparison for a leftist in Canada / 1939 Hitler Death Camp 0, 1940 Death Camp 0, 1941 56,000. Canada's death made 80,000. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, made is scary. And you know what? I did a video on it. No one cared. I don't know why, but nobody cared. It absolutely tanked. It absolutely tanked. Women here, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't think, by the way, the Bears aren't going to move out of Chicago. This is just negotiating. That's all that is. No one cares about Canada? I do. A lot of my viewers are from Canada, from Canada Stan. Let's see here. We've got the nurse thing. We've got this other story too. Yeah, let's do this story, and then I've got Neil deGrasse Tyson being a dummy dumb. Let's see. Doobie doobie doo. Where is this Neil deGrasse Tyson clip? Here it is. Neil deGrasse Tyson is kind of a dum-dum. Big Candace got me. What, was there a lockup? Did I freeze? I almost never freeze when I use OBS. What is crazy is a day later they announced a mushroom-based drug that had 90% cure rate for depression. Well, they better get, I mean, yeah, but that doesn't help their organ harvesting. Do you know Canada is like the #1 organ harvester through MAID programs, self-euthanized programs? Let's see. Dylan says, the truck stop in Wapaka from yesterday actually turned into a Mexican restaurant, but it was on the south side of 10 across from Quick Trip. Oh, okay, it's a Mexican restaurant now. DeGrasse Tyson. Vance Bolter was officially indicted today, charged with 6 counts of stalking and murder. He faces life or the death penalty. Vance Bolter. That's the Minnesota shooter, right? Did you know Epstein had special access to Disney? Right? That's who Vance Bolter is, right? Yeah. Okay. Pluto thinks Neil deGrasse Tyson is an idiot. Big agree. So I'm going to go here, do some segments here. All right, now this all matches. How's everybody's Friday, by the way? How you guys feeling going into the weekend? How do you guys feel? Going to fish fry? Yeah, I'm going out for pizza tonight. A fish fry wouldn't be bad. We need more fish fry places in Wisconsin. Good ones. Wisconsin is wet today. Yeah, it is. It was kind of snowing. There was like thunder snow last night, which is always kind of cool. All right, got a couple of these here. Feeling like shit, dude. My tummy. Can I share a funny story with you that I'm sure will get covered by those two grease balls who probably have no idea what it's like to be married and sleep next to a woman? But cheese and dairy, like, I'm not like allergic to it, but my tummy doesn't like it if I have like a lot of it. Last night, like, my tummy was really, really unhappy. And there was a funny moment. Basement Jesus says, quartering, it won't let me send what I want, so just read my next message. Okay. Appreciate the support. Let's see. Dingus Khan wrote, looking for it. I made Narcan, man. I ran out of credits halfway. I'm looking, Dingus. I don't see it. Well, anyway, last night I finally took some Tums at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep because I had crazy indigestion. And then I started to feel like the pressure go away. And I enjoyed what was probably my loudest, most long rip of a lifetime. And it was so thunderous that it woke up my wife. And I'm pretty proud of that. I'm pretty proud of that. It woke her up out of a dead sleep. Pretty proud of that. And I felt much better. I moved to Hudson, Wisconsin. Ideally wanted to move to Milwaukee, but my wife has family in Minnesota. Had to come over to Rumble. My super chats are being blocked. I said, funny, maid is open to underage children to harvest their organs, but no one cares that they are white. Yeah, right. 95, now almost 96% of all maid participants that use the state services to kill themselves in Canada are white. Try Oaks Manor in South Milwaukee. It's on 15th. Okay. All right. I'll try it. Love a good fart. It was it was one of the loud and proud but had no smell ones. So it was just pure noise. All show and no go. I didn't pull the covers up. I didn't want to also die. Your chiropractor claims yesterday made me laugh so hard a vertebrae in my neck popped back into place. Saved me $150. Hey, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. Poor Mrs. Quartering. Yeah. I trusted that fart. I knew it was going to be a dry one. Anyway, let's get back to the news. Well, we've already seen a lot of these ICE walkouts. Several of them where students end up getting hit, hurt, fighting with locals. They are just completely unhinged, and they're going to lead to massive lawsuits, as they should. Now, this particular story is absolutely bonkers. As an ICE hosted, a public school hosted an ICE walkout in which they dragged an 11-year-old student with special needs along with them and left them outside in the cold. Nobody went back to get him. Nobody knew that he wasn't there. And the kid ended up wandering around for hours until finally calling his mom. Can you imagine getting that call? Like, why is not getting a call from a payphone? And then you pick it up and it's your kid and they're like, I don't know how special needs they were, but this is absolutely insane. This is a story on my Jeremy Hambley channel, my second channel, a segment for it, which you can find anywhere. You can find, if you just search Jeremy Hambley, you'll find the channel. And I do 2 to 3 videos a day there. Leftist school faces mass calls for a lawsuit after an 11-year-old child with special needs got left in the dust miles from school during an anti-ICE walkout. He called his mother. She didn't even know it was happening. Listen to this story.
This afternoon, a mother says she just wants answers after her special needs son is found wandering miles away from his school when he was supposed to be in class.
I don't feel safe. I'm just scared to go back. There's something could happen that same day again.
11-year-old Richard Harley says he doesn't want to go back to class after he was found wandering, scared and alone, miles away from school grounds following a student-led walkout protesting ICE.
They were supposed to stay on 72, by the school, but they did the exact opposite. It went just way more farther, and no one even knew how far they were going.
Oh, so you kind of got.
I was like the last one, so I was all alone.
The incident happened Tuesday morning at Dundee Middle School in the far northwest suburb where the 6th grader is a student.
What's going on?
His mother says she was not notified about the walkout, and because her son has special needs.
Now, I don't know what the kid's special needs are. It sounds like he has maybe a little bit of a speech impediment, or, I can't be totally sure what's going on with that. But again, we have another kid. These teachers need to be sued. The school districts need to be sued. The teachers union needs to be sued. Now, did that kid go along with a walkout willingly? Maybe, but it's ultimately the responsibility of the of the teachers and the administrators at these schools to protect them.
And an individualized education program, or IEP, takes issue with him being allowed to leave campus without supervision or parental authorization.
Right. 100%, absolutely positively true. These walkouts happening on school hours are a lawsuit waiting to happen. And by the way, a lawsuit that should happen. We already saw one female get run down while screwing around in the street. We saw another kid run over a motorcyclist. And it's insane that this is continuing to be allowed to happen with no repercussions.
Why didn't I get, a notification that he was tardy, or absent for that matter? Why didn't they even bother calling in?
Blaisdell.
Well, they don't tell the parents because we know that basically starting around the COOF or around the lockdowns, that these teachers started exercising what they believed was their right to replace parents. It started with these teachers hiding, kids transitioning. And it started with teachers using a kid's preferred pronouns without telling their parents. It started with these teachers bringing LGBTQ stuff, indoctrination into class. It started with teachers displaying pride flags in class. A place where students are supposed to be protected and safe turned into leftist teachers saying, hey, this is a place where I am going to do what I want. Now, every one of these schools so far that I've reported on have been shockingly low in national standards for reading, writing, and math, but they have time to turn these kids into little woke soldiers.
Says her son didn't understand what the walkout was about and merely went along with the other students when they went outside. She says the protest turned dangerous for Richard when he couldn't keep up with the other kids who were marching along Main Street and Route 72 Higgins Road.
So a highway. So the kids were marching along a highway during school hours. They didn't tell the parents, and this kid ended up lost.
Blaisdell said her son called her in a panic.
He said, you just need to come pick me up. I don't know what's going on. I'm very scared.
The 34-year-old mother of three says she called police but was able to locate her son through his cell phone about 10 minutes later near the busy intersection of 72 and Randall Road.
It's not right. Because my kid, again, is supposed to be safe.
It's not even a matter necessarily of the fact that it's a special needs kid, right? What if that kid would have wandered out into the road? That kid is the responsibility of the teachers, like full stop. You know, the kid is the responsibility of the teachers to be watching. And, you know, this is shocking. This is scary. Parents, like, if you're a parent and you send your kid to school, like, are we gonna, like, you expect them to be in class and safe? It's already dangerous enough with all these trans kids going into the school and trying to take out, you know, other kids. Here's another report on it. It might be the same.
I don't feel safe. I'm just scared to go back. There's something could happen that same day again.
11-year-old Richard Harley says he doesn't want to go back to class after he was
Now, did he want to go back to class anyway? I don't know an 11-year-old that isn't a girl anyway that loves school, but this is like an obvious nonsense thing where these teachers are saying, hey, I'm the one that is supposed to be raising these kids. I know what's best for these kids. And you can't tell me that these things are not organized by school administrators. You can't. Who's opening the doors for these kids? The school should obviously be locked. Who is letting these kids walk out? Are there no teachers in the hallway saying, go back to class? I couldn't even imagine teachers when I was in high school just standing along the side and letting kids walk out. Also, I would ask, would these same teachers allow students to walk out and support ICE? That's the only question you really need to ask to understand that these inorganic ICE walkouts are organized and supported by leftist teachers and school boards. And, you know, I challenge any school, let the kids walk out and support ICE. How come we haven't seen a single school do that? We know that there was one school where the kids, quote unquote, supported ICE, and the school let some chubster attack the kid that was supporting ICE and punch him. This stuff is absolutely bonkers. And I've been predicting for days that one of these kids is going to get run over and lose their life. We already had another female student yesterday need paramedics. Who is responsible for this? Well, it's the teachers in the school. So these parents should be suing the school. The problem is, you know, these parents probably support it. These parents are probably like, oh, cool, I get to post on Facebook how stunning and brave my daughter was and how she stood up to a fascist car and she survived to tell the tale. So many of these parents have been utterly radicalized as well by, you know, consuming Apple News, consuming TikTok day in and day out. Like, TikTok kids are bad enough, but TikTok parents are like legitimately dangerous. And this is exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get more of these kids getting lost, getting hurt, getting ran over. And until these schools start getting sued by people, it's just going to continue. This is the exact same crap that they do when they let them walk out during Pride Month or Black History Month. Schools are not a place to train little mini activists. There's a place to train train kids on how to, like, not be stupid. And it's no coincidence that these schools always seem to be, you know, very poor in terms of their reading, writing, and arithmetic skills. It's not okay. These schools need to be sued into oblivion. And I worry for today's youth because these teachers are training them to be little soldiers, and they're going to ruin their lives. The teachers will have no consequences, but these kids will be dead. They'll have criminal records. They'll have this, that, or the other thing that are all bad for them, and they won't care. So there needs to be consequences, and it needs to be happening now. Doobie-doobie-doo. Let me upload that one. Doobie-doobie-doo. Is uploading. Get that to my editors. Little soy soldiers. I love that. Comment of the day goes to Keller. They froze that boy they froze the boy that way to make him look more retarded. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't sound, mentally challenged to me. He just might have, a learning disability. He might be a slow learner or something like that. But at the end of the day, we know what these people are actually about. Again, stop going live at 12 on Friday. Do your normal time. 12 is my normal time on Fridays and has been for over a year. And, I've still got a couple of segments for you. So, I go early on Friday because, well, it's a long week for me and I always have a lot of catching up around the house. I just saw the egg fluff dessert video on my feed too. Yeah. Mad Heretic says, if that was my kid, I'd take them home, then go to school asking where my kid was. Right? Call into missing persons. According to Live, Crowder gave you a tasteful shout out today. What's a tasteful shout out? Give me the clip. You've always been live at noon on Fridays. Yeah, I have been. Give me the clip. He is cognitively younger than his peers who took advantage of him. That's probably true. I enjoy the show. It's news with chat and commentary. Yeah. Well, if you enjoy the show, just click the follow button. It's free to do, and that way you get notified when I go live. You forgot the clip of them luring him back into school with a train whistle. Aw, come on, guys. Come on, guys. We all have a little bit of the Tyson. Oh, I was admonished on Crowder. For what? What was I admonished for? My search history? Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Do they do the admonishments at the end of the show? Let's see. The dog bark always lets you know that my mail has arrived. That's true. Let's see. Crowder. Oh wait, was he live today? Yes, he was. Let's see here.
It's worldview. The answer. It's not a conspiracy. It's an evil.
9107. Question for the crew. You talked on a previous show about dreams and spiritual revelation. Do you think God still speaks to us in dreams?
Spirit isn't going to tell you to go do
conspiracies about this guy who used to be your friend you didn't talk to for years, and then your brain go ahead and
not one single additional thing matters. If you do not have a country.
I really like how the pattern matches your eyes.
I noticed your shoes.
I'm gonna go up. People in the States don't really understand.
I'll never find it
on here.
Yeah. It is called the crotch.
It's mostly dirt bike stuff. It's sponsored by Red Bull, but also there's a few orgies.
Yeah, there's a few. It's
Is it around this? Oh, it's Mug Club Friday only. Well, I have premium. So isn't it the same stream?
But then that's also to say, yeah, and I don't care about the several hundred.
Isn't it the same stream? We need a timestamp. Yeah. Tim said he's invited you on IRL, but I backed out every time. That's true. They have invited me a bunch. That's 100% true. It's just the travel that, Yeah, it's in there if whomever is correct. Same stream. It's the same stream. I don't recall you being admonished. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, I will go on Tim's show 100%. It's just hard. It's the same reason that Tim doesn't do anybody else's shows. When you publish like 7 videos a day, and then you also have a 2-hour live stream. It's hard to fly to somebody else's show and do their show. You know what I mean? So, but they have invited me on numerous times, and I will go on again, 100%. Use your private jet. Yeah, I don't have one of those. Okay, let's see this story. When Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't cheating on his wife and bending down and gobbling cone for Big Pharma, he is desperately attempting to get back into Hollywood's good graces. He's been a guy that was, in my opinion, astroturfed, for the lack of a better term, astrophysicist turfed into this guy that everyone was supposed to think was super smart. Now, I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson is stupid, but I do think that he also is a guy that is more concerned with fame and fortune than the actual science. And he went on Bill Maher's show and got absolutely demolished for praising, Dr. Fauci, of course, and also a old clip or is this recirculating of him talking about how sports should be segregated by hormones. I mean, this is a guy, he's also used the greater good argument for getting the jab. This is, again, something I can only really cover on the Jeremy Hambly channel, so I hope that you'll subscribe or follow. But let's get into this clip from Bill Maher talking about Dr. Fauci.
Science is not the word of any individual.
It was when it was Fauci.
Science, the objective truths of science are established only when there's multiple tests.
Really? Like how we had emergency authorization of the jab, and we don't know hardly anything about what the long-term effects are going to be. There's a lot of people who are obviously suspect of, clotting issues and myocarditis issues and all this other stuff. I'm not a doctor. There are much smarter people to talk about this stuff, like, Dr. Robert Malone, who was a doctor, is a doctor, and had something to say about it. And he was banned from everything. Just like Bill Nye, the science guy, and Neil deGrasse Tyson, both of these have pushed gender fluidity and far leftist talking points for years in order to keep their names in the headlines.
Multiple tests on a level where the individual no longer matters, right? Because it's the collective body of evidence.
Totally agree.
What we have in this world is, and you've seen this in all manner of categories. You're channel surfing on YouTube, and somebody says, the establishment thinks this, but I have the real answer, and they're trying to suppress it.
Are you saying that Big Pharma has never been wrong? Do we need to bring up all of the recent lawsuits that are being won and the way that 5 years ago, science said that is absolutely positively good for 17-year-old girls to have double mastectomies to affirm their gender? Do you remember when the science said it was better to have a trans kid than one that passed away? Do you remember when the science said you can put puberty on pause? This was the exact same nonsense that Neil deGrasse Tyson is saying. Yes, it was a consensus of people who call themselves scientists, maybe even people that have medical degrees, but they were using that to push propaganda. Now, suddenly 3 years later, the science is saying, oh, we shouldn't have gender affirmation. We shouldn't have double mastectomies. We shouldn't have young boys cutting their junk off because it isn't good for them.
This is irresistible to go listen to that one person who's opposite the establishment. And here's the thing. Okay. Just because the establishment doesn't agree with you, it doesn't mean you're correct. So
it also doesn't mean the establishment is correct. People have to do their own research. And that is what people figured out during 2020. Now, I'm not saying look, I think the coof was real. I just think maybe everyone didn't need to run out and get a jab. And I think that maybe we were lied to about, remember when the president, use his platform to say anyone who gets the jab won't spread the disease. That was a scientific quote unquote fact that was told to the American people, a fact that was disproved mere weeks later.
So you can say this expert and this. I don't care about the expert.
But you're setting up a dynamic between the establishment, which is to say Dr. Fauci, and a crazy person who thinks there are chips in the vaccine.
Yes.
I'm talking about Fauci versus Dr. Martin Kulldorff.
No, what I'm saying.
Or Dr. Robert Malone.
Fauci versus Jay Bhattacharya. These are.
Hold on.
Look how angry he gets. Anytime you push back, again, Neil deGrasse Tyson is a smart man who pretends to be objective. The thing is, most people aren't objective. I'm not objective. You aren't objective. But when they say that they are the science or that they're a doctor, they're supposed to be objective. The problem is money and fame are tied with the opposite of objectivity.
Okay.
These
Fauci.
So that's.
I'm getting it.
So don't pretend that.
I'm on it. Fauci.
Well, he's having an absolute meltdown.
I'm on
Fauci. Fauci, in principle.
Didn't they give that guy a Presidential Medal of Honor or something like that? You should look up what that guy did to beagles or his work on the AIDS epidemic that he was tied to.
Principle should, and most of the time does, represent the mainstream understanding of the drugs, the disease, the reactions, and the like.
The mainstream, which has been wrong about so many of it.
Well, that's a separate conversation.
But it is a true conversation.
Hold on. So then he represents a mainstream. It's not because he's an expert. It's because not only is he an expert, but that's not the issue here. It's that ideally he is conveying a community understanding of what's going on. Now you want to put him against another person who has pedigree, Harvard, Cornell, whatever, and you're going to say there's one expert against another. That's not how science works.
What do you mean? It's exactly how science works. It's exactly what, there's a term for it even, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's called peer review. Peer review is exactly how science works. And instead of getting mad and trying to literally put your hands on Bill Maher to quiet him down and you could have instead provided real evidence. I'm not saying that, Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't have a high IQ or that he doesn't know about astrophysics, but I am saying he's not a medical expert. And for him to say that, well, because Fauci said one thing that I agree with and another doctor with pedigree said something I disagree with, that's not science. It's called empirical data. It's called peer review. This is actual science. And you can't just poo-poo it because you don't agree with the guy. But this is the same guy that went on the high wire and said this.
Did you read the emergency use authorization that the FDA put?
Long ago, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you aware that it said we were unable to prove whether or not this stops transmission? This is it. What it said: data are limited to assess the effect of the vaccine against transmission of SARS-CoV-2 from individuals who are infected despite vaccination. So this idea that you're saying the variant is why but we didn't know what variant it mattered for.
So at that point, you're left.
And again, science is always changing. And again, I chose to wait. If they were stacking up bodies like cordwood of people and it wasn't going away, I may have strongly considered getting the jab. I chose to wait. And in just a few months, the science, the facts changed a dozen times because science takes time to reach a consensus. The problem that people had was that it didn't have the time to get to a consensus. And you had people like Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Stephen Colbert saying that, you were a garbage human if you didn't immediately jump into the pool.
Left with some choices. You can say, well, hold on. You can say, I will never get the disease I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
Okay. Or sorry, if I'm not vaccinated and I can't be vaccinated for some other physiological reason. Right. And you have COVID.
Okay.
I don't want my life put at risk because of you.
You're allowed to make that decision. That is your choice to make.
But he's also using the greater good argument here. You know, and we also know that if Neil had the jab and he had it, he could still spread it. So he wasn't doing anything, quote unquote, for the greater good. He was only doing what was good for what he thought for himself.
People in society for whom this is the case.
What is the case?
The case where I can't be vaccinated because I have some pre-existing medical condition.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Prevents it.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So now you,
right,
and then you spread it to me.
No,
Isn't that part of a?
But here's
you still spread it if you had it, Neil.
Part of the social contract.
Well, here's I agree.
Oh, social contract. I didn't sign any social contract. Did you?
Yeah.
I have a problem with what the vaccine actually does. What we actually now know it does
Yeah, right.
is it masks your symptoms. It takes your symptoms away so that you don't end up in the hospital if it's going to do the one thing that they promise it does.
Sure.
So what it actually does is it turns you into an asymptomatic carrier, where you might be sick and stay home and not infect that immune-suppressed child that's walking around. You're walking around thinking you're perfectly fine. So the vaccine is actually more dangerous than the social contract because I am walking around with a disease I do not know I have. If the product does what they promise it does, you just turned this person into the biggest problem we were all told this was about, was asymptomatic carriers.
Oops. Again, Neil deGrasse Tyson should have stuck to talking about the planet and the universe. I actually like hearing him talk about that. I don't care what he has to say about, our health. And this guys like him were propped up, and we were told that if we didn't listen to him, we were evil. And that there was a social contract, as he specifically just said, that, we all have to abide by. And I also want to adjust something. Science is, in fact, not a consensus. I misspoke there. It is not. Science is a fact. The problem was it was treated as a consensus during the lockdowns, and people didn't like that. I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Look at that, reading the chat in real time and providing it. This is why I read the chat. I read the chat. Let's see. Neil NDTJH is up. Okay. Some comments. Mr. Tough Guy, peer review is literally how outer space movies turn out. Black women figures out geniuses couldn't in Hidden Figures, or Matt Damon in Martian. They only heard one opinion with COVID. You know what's funny? You know what they say about space? There's this thing about space movies. In space, everyone can see your face, but that's actually not true. You would never see these people's faces in their spacesuits. But we need to see our Hollywood actors. So I'm just going to put this out here. We have already disproven several laws of physics or observed phenomena in the universe that do not obey the law of physics. Physics is a theory. True. Sartor says, somebody please ask Neil deGrasse Tyson why 7 countries revealed a cure for certain cancers within 48 hours of the United States backing out of the World Health Organization. Yeah, that's a good question too. And also, Lamau, hasn't it always been that stereotype that science guys are nerdy and socially awkward and don't understand a lot of social constructs or concepts? True. Dabman says, for 20, running for mayor in Louisville. Names Dattilo, D-A-T-T-I-L-O, a.k.a. D, the D. Best Buy is sabotaging my campaign. Again, Facebook is throwing bans at me. Look at my link and DM me if you can help at all. All right, shout out. Good luck. Mad Heretic says, oh, you got that one already. Anything on other channels that I'm missing? Not yet. Okay. Oh, there it is. Wednesday says, my daughter is 9. You shared corn with her and do not care. So when things happen, don't be shocked when I don't care. Humility is a great thing. Wait, my daughter is 9 and I shared a video and don't care. So when things happen, don't be shocked when I don't care. Humility is a great thing. I care. What are you talking about? You talking about when I accidentally showed that on the Twitter feed? I mean, I even apologized for that. Turtle disaster. Wait, turtle is. Oh, okay. Jeremy's the campaign manager. Yeah. In space, no one can hear you scream. That's the name of a movie, isn't it? I'm watching my neighbor's dog and it's clearly retarded. Well, that'll happen. That'll happen. But good on you for watching their dog. Tagline from Alien. Oh, yeah. I don't care for Alien movies. I don't care for them. I don't care for the franchise. I know a lot of people like them, and I'm not even saying they're objectively bad. I'm just saying they're not my cup of tea. I feel like people said that last Alien movie was pretty good. But when they did like the strong independent women who don't need no man, I was like, I don't really want that. The first two were good. Yeah, I like the first two with Schwarzenegger. That's what I like those. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie doobie doo. Oh, and Coffee Run Coffee is delicious if you like that sort of thing. Well, CBC, so Charlie Bravo Charlie, CBC Amazon.com will take you right to my Amazon store. It's nice and easy. Jeremy, I sent you a $1 rant. You should either read yourself or aloud. Wait. Didn't I read it? I read that. Do. Arnold wasn't an alien. Oh, you're right. You're right. I was thinking of Predator. Alien I liked. Predator I didn't care for. Any of the new Predator movies. That's yes, I misspoke. Alien I liked. Predator, the first ones were good. But I didn't really care for any of the ones after that. Yeah, the first Predator was great. There never really needed to be a Predator cinematic universe. They're just leaving Devory Darkins on the homepage for 20 minutes after he's been live, apparently. I can't get no love. Where are you at? Where are you guys at? Predator Badlands. People said that one was okay. When can you and D-Day Cobra make up? I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not mad at him. I nothing him. I wish him all the best. And I hope that he can still keep whinging about woke Hollywood. And I hope that it provides a great career for him. I'm not the one that has to, I've forgiven him, but I don't care. Like our audience crossover is minimal. And that guy went out of his way to humiliate me. Like, why am I responsible for that? He can delete his video and upload a video apologizing for being a bad friend and an asshole. Like, that's what, you don't shake hands with me privately and say we're good and then put out a whole video having a meltdown about it. That's bitch energy. Why would I'm under no obligation to care at all about him. When you're my friend, I'm extremely loyal to you. As you've seen how I treat, like my co-hosts when they have controversies. But if you stab me in the back, like I don't have any interest in maintaining a friendship with somebody who will stab you in the back for $75 in super chats. Like, I don't, like, I did nothing to that guy. I did nothing to him. And he put out a whole video humiliating me over some crap that happened 5 years ago. Some porn search showed up in my, and he played that up for $75 in super chats. I hope it was worth it. Sure hope he doesn't need any help, anywhere down the line. I can forgive him, but I don't have to help him. So here's the thing. You put substance in Luke's drinks. That's not a friend. It was Red Bull, and he drinks Red Bull off camera anyway. You still go with Sticks? Yeah, I wish the best for Sticks. He never backstabbed me. It's just, I could tell he needed some time away and to get his life in order, and that's been, unfortunately, taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But I'll never forget the episode Sticks was arrested and you called on air. And I also bailed him out. I never got that money back, by the way. I don't know how that works. Has anybody ever bailed anyone out before? Because it was like $8,000 to bail him out and I never got it back. And as far as I know, he's out of jail and he's done his stuff. So I don't know. I've never gotten that refunded. I don't know what am I supposed to call and like, is there some sort of form I'm supposed to fill out? So it's great to hear of ethics courting. I'm totally impressed with you. You showed the layman video of the Democrats have racism problem. I sent our big super chat. I send our big super chats. Oh, it's $50. Damn, dude. Thank you. If there's a fine, he pays it. But how do I get my $8,000 back? Like, to be fair, it's actually Styx's money because he worked on the show for a couple of weeks and didn't get paid to offset that money. So when I get that money back, it goes to Styx. So I don't know. Maybe he got the money. Maybe they sent it directly to him, but I don't know. I don't think so because I'm the one that paid the bail. Bailed my brother out, never saw the money again. Oh, maybe that was it. No, I don't think Styx got it. If he got it, he would tell me. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Call the clerk. Okay, yeah. Did you pay a service to take the bail to the courthouse? No, I just paid directly to the courthouse. I guess I'll have to contact the courthouse probably. Yeah, because I know he like did his court dates and all that's over, so they should refund that money, which is technically Styx's because he worked for free to pay it back. No, I did not pay a bail bondsman. I paid the court the full amount directly. I have a receipt and paperwork from the courthouse. I tried bail bondsman, but it didn't work. But I ended up just paying the court directly. But let's get into this next topic. I've got a crazy story. Sean says, I sent out over $1,000 as a disabled vet, and only you respond. Big channels, you responded. Big channels, your quality shines. Oh, well, I respond to everybody, even if they don't super chat. And please don't put yourself out, The super chats help immensely, but they're not required. I put on the show with or without them. Yeah. Do you think the government would make it easy for you to get that money back? No. I have the paperwork right next to me. So maybe I'll call today. and be like, yo, where's my money? Where's my money, B? Where's my money? I also have tariff paperwork here where I had a $7,000, $6,200 tariff I paid. I pulled that out because I'm like, I want my money back. You got to go get it. They're not going to just mail it to you. Okay. All right. Well, let's get into this story here. The government didn't even make it easy to give them money. Yeah, it was hard for me just to bail him out. You know? That's the question, really. I'm sure Jeremy knows he's not going to do the scumbag thing and leak it. No, I would not. I would... yeah, it was $8,000. It's 10% if you go through a bail bondsman. Right. So his full bail was $8,000. If I could have got a bail bondsman, it would have been like $800 or whatever, or $1,000. But I have to contact trying to find the paperwork right now, actually, before we get to this next story. Yep, here it is. Official from the county clerk court. You will need this original. Please allow 14 days for the processing of a cash bond refund. So I have the receipt. The bail was $7,800. And I paid it on 10/2/2024. So maybe I'll call after the show. Because I'm pretty sure he, like, fulfilled everything. I kept the paperwork from 2 years ago. Sean says, I'm okay. I want to show that the anti-white racism at play in our immigrant community, it's worse in Canada. That's why we've turned hard left. Right. If you do the bonds where you don't get it back. Okay. Yeah. Call in downstream it. No, because I'm sure I have to give, like, personal information. I'll let you guys know. Let's get into this next story. I don't know what's going on in the nurse community, but there is seriously some sort of radicalization issue in the nurse community. And here we have yet another nurse who effed around, and the way the internet made her find out is absolutely legendary. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not crazy that the nursing profession would be more liberal leaning, and that's fine. But the concern that we found out, that we found out the way that they seemingly are threatening to provide different services to people based on how they vote is absolutely insane. And this nurse is using her dementia patients as pawns, perhaps the lowest of the low. Before we get into that, a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Black Forest. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Black Forest Supplements. By around 40, your bone marrow slows down stem cell production. The repair cells that rebuild muscles, support blood vessels, and help you recover. By 50, output can drop by 75%. That's why cuts heal slower and recovery feels harder. But cocoa flavanols may help support the signaling pathways involved in the repair process. This powder wakes up your stem cells and signals your bone marrow to start releasing repair cells again. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up. Check it out.
If you actually give people who have coronary artery disease, so they've got narrowing of their blood vessels and stiff, hard blood vessels, if you measure their stem cells and then see how many stem cells are floating around their blood, which is not many, then researchers have given them 2 cups of dark chocolate in the form of hot chocolate. That's it, 2 cups to have a day for 30 days. And at the end of 30 days, you take out your blood and measure the stem cells again, and then do that flow-mediated dilation resiliency test again of the blood vessels to see have they changed. This is what's amazing has been found. That dark chocolate, the proanthocyanidins, not only got into the bloodstream, but they doubled the number of stem cells circulating in your blood vessels, and they doubled the resiliency of your blood vessels just over the course of a month with as little as 2 cups of hot chocolate that's dark.
Yes, dark chocolate. And most of the flavanols get destroyed during processing. Regular chocolate may have around 50 milligrams, while Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder contains 1,200 milligrams of concentrated flavanols. These compounds support circulation and cellular repair pathways, which is why they've even been studied in military recovery settings. Made in the USA, highly concentrated, extracted from the highest quality cocoa, it's designed for people who feel their energy and recovery declining with age without extreme measures or expensive procedures. The ultra-famous podcaster that everyone knows talks about stem cells constantly and even flies to Colombia for those injections. But this activates the same stem cells. No travel, no needles, without the $50,000 tab. That's why Black Forest just opened the 48-hour President's Day access window. Right now, everything in the store is buy one, get one free. Not a discount, not a limited product, a true store-wide buy one, get one free. This is the biggest promotion Black Forest runs all year long. This is cheaper than one physical therapy session, cheaper than supplements that don't actually trigger repair, and a lot cheaper than flying overseas. So, check out the link in the description and get yours today. Now, let's take a look at this nurse who is using her dementia patients as pawns against ICE.
If ICE ever comes to my job, I'm going to go around and tell every single confused patient on the unit that they are there to invade their home. And then I'm going to let them free. I'm going to turn all the bed alarms off and I'm going to let them go free.
So essentially you're turning your dementia patients into Walking Dead to have them attack ICE agents. Again, this type of video probably isn't quote unquote illegal, but her as a nurse uploading it certainly, is going to cost her license. And what she's fantasizing about here is wild levels of malpractice.
Do you know how strong an 80-year-old demented patient is? I'm just going to let Betty whip your ass. So if ICE thinks that they're going to come pick up my patient, I hope they know how to get them off a ventilator. Are you going to roll them out of the hospital connected to a ventilator?
Can you point to, nurse lady, a single ICE apprehension of somebody on a ventilator or somebody with dementia and getting them deported? Because, as always, the white liberal fantasy is crazy. Like, these people are nuts. By the way, it's Friday, and I know I already hit you guys with an ad, but I want to remind you, if you go to CBC Amazon, so Charlie Bravo Charlie, Amazon.com, you can pick up all of our delicious roasted fresh on-demand coffee with free overnight shipping. Blueberry cobbler, strawberries and cream if you like flavored, butterscotch, hot butter rum, vanilla sugar cookie. Also our unflavored Colombian 003, our dark roast, whole bean, K-Cups, everything is here. And for the heavy users, our 5-pound bags are available at a discount. Only one of them is out of stock right now, which I'm roasting some right now. The blueberry cobbler will be in and the strawberries and cream will be in later this weekend. I keep it low, so I keep it fresh. Nothing sits there forever. Give it a try, support the channel, and stay caffeinated.
What about my A-line? Do you know how to take down an A-line? Do you know how to take out an A-line? Oh.
Look how smug she is. She's like, oh, only I know how to do this job that as a nurse, 100,000 other people can do.
Oh, are you going to let them bleed out?
They're not. They just would never do that. It's crazy. By the way, my sister's a nurse. She's actually quite conservative, but she doesn't upload videos saying she would not help a liberal. Like, this is an exclusively a liberal brain damage issue.
Do you know how to titrate pressors? Or are you just going to unplug everything and then let them die?
Well,
first off, I don't know that patient. Who is that? Who? Excuse me. Why are you going in that room? What's your name? Oh, you're not their POA.
So, again, this is all to impress her dad, who's probably a Trump voter. That's who this is. And look, if you're an illegal invader, I don't think you should get our health care. Is that a hot take? We know you're not going to pay for it. American citizens pay for it because it's not like hospitals give the support away for free. They just bake it in to what everyone else pays. It's like all these moron communists that think shoplifting is okay because it doesn't affect people. Like, they think Walmart doesn't raise the price of everything else across the board to offset shrink.
Sorry, I can't tell you anything, HIPAA.
Well, the internet immediately found her. Her name is Cara Marie, and she works for TriHealth. TriHealth is the big Cincinnati area health system that owns Good Samaritan Hospital, Bethesda North in North Montgomery, Westchester, Bethesda Butler, etc. And they found her Instagram and TikTok, where she uploads these videos for TikTok likes and survives on a beauty filter. There's also this video. If ICE ever thinks they're going into my patient's room.
I don't fight for
Well, I'm not going to play it because there's copyrighted music. Oh, by the way, in case you're watching this video, here's how, here she is. Her state license is in Ohio. Her license number, 501970. This is public information. And soon she won't have a reason to know how to use those things because she's being reported to the board. And if you're in Ohio in particular, I would highly recommend reporting her to the board. Here's the hospital where she works. Like her license will now be removed from her. Here you have anti-ICE protest staged by nurses union. This is why I hate unions. I mean, again, why?
ICE is not welcome here.
Protesters with National Nurses United gathered today to demand Congress
show them the unemployment line. Stop using our unions. Like, we already know Florida has disbarred or delicensed at least 2 nurses, maybe 3. Let Florida lead the way. If I'm in a state that allows nurses to have these unhinged rants that they're saying publicly, I'm even more worried about what they're saying privately. It's extremely concerning.
Stop funding immigration and customs enforcement and Customs and Border Patrol.
Abolish ICE.
Why is it always... It's never a white man leading this stuff, is it?
The nurses union staged protests at the UC San Diego Health's Hillcrest and La Jolla Medical Centers and Palomar Medical Center.
There are literally tens of them. I thought nurses were so busy working 24-hour straight shifts and filming TikToks.
We started out this morning over at UCSD La Jolla, kind of doing a similar event. We're educating the public about why we're here today, trying to...
We know why you're there. We know why you're there.
Advocate for our patients against ICE.
They want to abolish ICE for what they say is the health and safety of patients and communities.
What? You know what would help? You know what would help the health and safety of patients in their communities? Having to wait 20% less long because there's not 40 illegals in front of them. Having to pay 20% less because they're not subsidizing illegals' free Medicare.
Registered nurse Kendall Hargrove says ICE enforcement has ramped up and tactics have become more brazen under the Trump administration.
Good.
ICE is a public...
They actually haven't ramped up. Pretty sure Obama still has, and Clinton still have higher numbers of deportation. Nobody is breaking into these people's homes. It's like a literal fantasy that all these white liberal nurses are living.
Health crisis.
Oh,
because
crisis.
Right now, patients are afraid to seek care because they're afraid to go outside.
What patients are afraid to go outside? Illegal aliens? Illegals are afraid to go outside? Good. What do you mean? Raise your hand if you would like less of a wait. Leave a like on the video if you're happy with less of a wait at the doctor's office. This is also another fantasy. Minnesota is actually suing the federal government for $70 million, saying that workers were afraid to go to work. And so we're supposed to pay federal taxpayers are supposed to pay Minnesota money. I'm not kidding. That's a real lawsuit that Tim Walz and their moron mayor are trying to pass. I don't care if illegals are afraid to go out and get free health care. They're not supposed to be here in the first place, and they're not paying for the health care. Here we have a Virginia nurse, by the way, who encouraged colleagues to inject ICE with paralytic drug. And remember this one? Swiftly fired.
Get them sick. Get the poison ivy oak water, and I'm going to put it into a water gun. Aim for faces. All the medical providers, grab some syringes with needles on the end. Have them full of saline or succinylcholine, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. A Virginia nurse now under investigation for apparently telling her TikTok followers ways to hurt ICE agents. Let's bring in former Disney star and former Trump campaign deputy communications director Caroline Sunshine.
Former Disney star, probably not the way. I mean, again, social media identified this person and they were immediately fired from VCU Health. This has to be they don't have to just be fired. They need to lose their license. I don't want them to swiftly be able to just bebop over to another hospital. These people are lunatics and they're putting us all at risk. And I'm tired of dealing with them with kid gloves. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. And we'll talk to you again real soon. All right. It's now time for Friday Fun Day, where we bless up a smaller streamer. Who do we like today? So if you're allergic to poison oak, you die. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, by the way, all of our coffee, cbcamazon.com. If you want to support the show, today would be a great day. Look, if you, I promise you'll like it. This is not dropship garbage coffee like all my peers sell. We roast our own stuff. It's the only place you can get these flavors. It's the only place you can get these roasts. And we work really hard. You know, we work really hard to provide high quality product to you. I didn't raise prices during the tariffs. I haven't raised prices. We make about $1 a bag. That's what I make. About $1 a bag after it. But this is about building something up to have exist long past, my YouTube career. And it starts with high quality roasted fresh on demand product. This isn't just a grift for me to make more money like other people. It's an actual company with actual employees that you're supporting. And, CBC, Charlie Bravo, Charlie, Amazon.com. Pick up a bag today. Leave a review on it. It would be incredible. We're growing on Amazon every day. Some days we sell 400 or 500 bags at a time. And it's incredible. And it's exclusively because of all of your support. So that would be incredible. Why do you Friday Night Tights talk about? I don't really care about other YouTubers who talk shit about me. It's okay. They're allowed to do that. You know, what they're not allowed to do is come ask me for help afterwards, or pretend like I'm overreacting. Like that's not how men handle stuff. All of that started because I made the broad statement that, Hollywood bad videos are not as popular as they used to be. That's literally all I said. That's all I said. And these women have been melting down about it for 2 months now. 2 months they've been melting down about me stating an objective fact. I said even my videos views were down, right? I said my video views were down too. And then suddenly they're like, why is Jeremy attacking us? Nah, I'm not going to play their woman energy games. Let's see. Who can we bless up on this Friday? Is Nina live? I always like sending you guys to Nina. Is Nina live? She's probably going to guest host next week. Oh, she is, and she only has 17 viewers right now. This is a great candidate. I'm going to send everyone over to Nina. She's a big white pill news content creator on Fridays. So let's raid her and bless her up. She's absolutely great. All right. And there. All right, everyone. We will be back. I'll be streaming on Sunday for sure with news. So make sure you tune in on Sunday. Make sure you follow the channel.
Maybe I'll claim of
Let's see here.
various stuffed plushies to play from IKEA Toys. They want to support him, so they've given.
Let's see.
him,
She's
they've-
at
they've
17
given him
viewers right
free
now. Let's see how many.
orangutan monkeys, because
Let's see
obviously
how-
he's destroying them. They're giving a ton. You can also buy the monkey. He's gone viral, so you can buy the orangutan monkey.
Card openings maybe Saturday.
Here is
but
one where he's waiting for the zookeepers to come out, and the monkeys are just chilling out with him.
well, she's up to 100 now.
He's like, he's just being a little monkey. He's just being a little monkey. Look at him. He's so cute. Oh, look at that. We got a quartering raid.
There you
over
go.
on Rumble. What's going on?
All right. Yeah, by the way, make sure you follow my channel. If you're just watching me on the homepage of Rumble right now, click the follow button. We're live Monday through Thursday at 2 Eastern and Fridays at 1 Eastern. I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend and then back next week at 2 Eastern on Monday.
Had a Yarn Witch raid earlier.
There we
I
go.
don't think I forgot about you. Forgot about you.
All right. You guys all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you Sunday and Monday.